What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be talking about why the CoverGirls launch proves that all DC superheroes will launch onto VEVE. But before we do this I thought let's take a little look at the current launch that's happening and essentially why it inspired me to create this video and just sort of reflect my personal perception on why I believe we'll see these superheroes brought into the VEVE application moving forward in the near future. So we can see that we got 4 first appearances being released today. Now I actually think that's a pretty interesting point to make here. We got 4 brand new characters coming into this launch. Now, if DC were not happy with the overall feel of the different collectibles that VEVE are launching into the marketplace, we just wouldn't see this. You know, we wouldn't see them continue to release these first appearances. We wouldn't see them continue to release, like we see with the black and white range, multiple different series 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We just wouldn't see this happening. So to see this 4 different first appearances being released in the CoverGirls launch, I think just highlights and solidifies in my mind that we'll continue to see this sort of diverse range of superheroes brought into the VEVE marketplace. So I think the first thing I want to touch upon as well is just sort of the style of these different NFTs. I think they're really, really cool. I think they really represented this. They're very fun. They're quirky. I think the mirror one is my personal favourite. You know, looking quite serious, but sort of pretty. It's a pretty epic style here. You know, with the water sort of flowing up, seeing her sort of in control of the water, which is really interesting to see. And then, or the seas, and then we've got the Supergirl as well. Now, I know. I just want to touch upon this. I know a general consensus is that people wanted to see sort of lower edition numbers within sort of the commons and uncommons, but I think it's important that we remember, excuse me, that moving forward, we will need to see higher edition numbers for these particular collectibles so that when new users come into the application, they're able to have a positive experience. You know, having a marketplace that has everything sold out is great, you know, and in some ways obviously justifies the demand that we have right now. But from a new user that's never seen VEVE, you know, we want them to be able to come into the marketplace and enjoy it in the same way that we do. So seeing these edition numbers remain high, I think, you know, in my opinion, I like it. And I think we should all sort of get behind this because Reese touched upon this, that they're going to continue to do it. We need to accept it. And I think the value in these, in the commons and commons are going to come in the lower serial numbers anyway. So just important to remember that this is a platform for everyone. It's a user experience platform. It's a collectible marketplace. And we have to remember that they want to keep products available for people. So I'm personally going to be going for the Supergirl within this launch, and then sort of collecting everything else on the secondary marketplace. So yeah, I wish everyone the best of luck. I hope you get the collectibles that you want, and I hope the launch goes smoothly and the application runs smoothly for you. So let's sort of jump into the main topic of this video. We've got, in my opinion, we have got proof now that we will see more, or if not all, the DC superheroes coming in to the VEVE marketplace over the coming months and over the coming years. Now, the reason I want to say this is because I think not many people don't really realise that just because VEVE have the license agreement for DC now doesn't mean that it's not revocable. You know, this can be removed. If VEVE don't represent their characters and don't capture the characters' sort of emotion and feeling very well within their statues or within their NFTs that they create, and DC aren't happy with the product, you know, you could actually see sort of DC and other licenses back away from VEVE. You know, I think this is why we see them continually focus on quality of products, not quantity of items that they deliver. We don't want to get that sort of misconstrued and misinterpreted. I don't mean the total edition numbers. I mean the total amount of products being launched in a given week, in a given month. That's because their main focus point is quality of product and representing the characters within the DC range in an effective way. Now, we've already seen Batman, and I think Batman's a perfect representation of where DC sort of stance is right now with VEVE and their sort of how they feel and how positive their reaction is to where VEVE are and how they're representing their brand. Because we've seen them release a Series 1, Series 2, Series 3, Series 4 and a Series 5 already. Think about that from DC's perspective, okay? And think about from a collectible standpoint as well. If you were an owner of a license, so let's put your feet in the shoes of DC. If you were the license owner of DC and you launched your Series 1 into Batman and you didn't like how the brand was represented, or you didn't like how the audience reacted to the product and that it wasn't very popular, you just wouldn't do a Series 2. Why would you do a Series 2 and a Series 3 if Series 1 didn't do well? And we have to look about this long term with sort of the the reputation that VEVE has within DC's range, because seeing how seeing how these Series 1, Series 2, Series 3, Series 4 and Series 5 have played out can give us an indication about where DC's sort of standpoint is with VEVE. And I would say, in my opinion, it's a very positive one. I think we'll continue to see the whole black and white range, which it just justifies my mind that quality of product is king in this particular moment for VEVE, and seeing them continually highlight that they want to improve their tech, improve their team, just justifies to me that this is a very significant launch for VEVE. We've got 4 new first appearances coming in from the DC range because of the quality of the product, because of the delivery of product, and because of where VEVE's focus point is. They want to represent DC's brand in the most positive and effective way. Now, another thing I just want to touch upon here is, and sort of highlight a little further, is sort of VEVE's ability to capture the personality of the collectible itself. Now, this sort of came into my thought processes as I was sort of putting this video together. When we look at what CoverGirls are doing right now with all these first appearances, they're capturing personality inside of this launch. If you look at each individual character, look at the way that sort of the actual representation of the NFT is. Each individual character has its own personality, and I think this sort of ties into why I believe DC are going to continue to release their range, because VEVE understand that their quality of product, it's not just about having a collectible. It's how do you represent that character as well in the best way for the fans to enjoy and for DC to be happy with. And you can see that they they capture different emotions. Each individual character here has its own set of feelings, has its own representation within the DC brand. And you can see, Mira's got this quite serious approach. We've got Catwoman that's looking sort of a little bit cheeky. We've got Batgirl that looks sort of happy and enthusiastic, a little bit more playful. And you've got Supergirl looking just sort of an epic feel about her. And I think that's important to remember here, that each individual character has its own personality, and the way that VEVE represent them is pretty important, especially when we look at the long-term reputation and the long-term scope. So I thought we'd just sort of flick through here and see potentially what we might see in the future. We've got Batwoman, which I believe is actually being launched already. Let me just go up quickly. No, that's Batgirl. Sorry. So we've got Batwoman. We've got Birds of Prey, Black Lightning. There's so many different characters that VEVE could release from the DC range. I really want to see Black Manta. I think it's going to be a really epic launch. I'd love to see Black Manta brought in. And like I say, as we continue to scroll through, we can see just all these, just sort of this massive range of different characters that we could see being brought into this. Now, and I'm just convinced at this point that VEVE will continue to launch all of the characters in from the DC range. We're already seeing them release more first appearances, and we just wouldn't see it. If DC were not happy, this would not happen. It just justifies my mind why we'll continue to see more range being released. And sort of just to bring back to a tweet that Trevor did back in May the 15th, which actually isn't that long ago, but when you think about how quick and how fast-paced VEVE actually is with their updates, this particular tweet just feels like a lifetime ago now. But we can see there's over 100 different NFTs in production right now. This vision is still being portrayed and being created in real time. And so seeing that VEVE are growing their team and seeing that we've got first appearances coming in right now in the form of these different of the CoverGirls launch, I think just signifies to me that what's going on in the background right now. We've got many different NFTs being created. I think also we're seeing further NFTs for the DC range. I think we'll continue to see first appearances, and I just can't see why they wouldn't want to release all their characters right now. The concept is proven. VEVE have proven the concept of that they can not just that the NFTs are not just in demand, but they can deliver the products to their customers in a way that not only represents DC's heroes, but also doesn't misrepresent the brand of DC. And this is so important to remember when we look at the long-term scope and agreement between sort of VEVE and DC. So I hope you've learned something from this video, and if you have, then please consider dropping a like, subscribing if you're new around here. I'm personally really excited about this. I'm going to try and go after the whole DC range. I'm sure many of you collectors out there will as well. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.